All right, number one for top my favorite small forward all time. I got Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, 7 foot monster, 4 scoring titles. I honestly wish that they could have won a championship in OKC. That would I was really rooting for them that one year. I just thought that they were young, plus a couple things was like a key factor to them losing that series. It was much closer than what people saw. I mean, yeah, they lost in five, but they were much closer. The only game that was a blowout was Game Five, but all those other games could have went either way. And if that series would have went back to OKC, I thought they were going to win a championship. But it is what it is. I know they say those. Some people are trying to say his rings in Golden State don't hold weight, but in this day and age with players jumping ship left and right, it's just the new standard. So I'm going to say they hold weight in today's age. They probably don't hold as much weight back in the old days where guys were not changing teams as much. But I mean, you can't argue that Kevin Durant's not one of the top players of all time. This dude is a bucket getter. Like there's nothing that you can do to stop him. Sometimes he's 7 foot tall. Nobody can guard him. Like I haven't seen anybody shut down Kevin Durant, and I don't think I will. Um, Number two, small forward, I got Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's defense is just it's an honor to watch. It's just so fun seeing somebody that takes their job so serious on defense and try to lock you down, that pick you up all the way full court. He could guard anybody. He'll switch. His dunking was like really fun to watch. Scottie Pippen could get to the basket. He was long. He had great finishes, and he was a good jump shooter. At like 3 point shooter too. Like at the end of his career, even in the Portland Trailblazers days, I remember it was fun to watch Scottie play. So I got him at number two. He got 6 rings. Ain't no way Mike got 6 rings without Scottie. Um, Number three, I got Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, just because he's one of my like right behind Scottie, and we're talking about on-ball defending. And I am a fan of defense, watching guys take the defense serious, and Kawhi Leonard is somebody that people need to watch more, and stop just watching the 3, 5, 10 million bounces on the rim highlight, over and over again where it beat my Sixers. Watch his defense. His defense is the reason why he has those 2 rings, and his defense is like so underrated. He plays passing lanes. He's annoying to watch when you're going against him because I'm a Sixers fan. We had a terrible. I don't want to talk about that, but like just sitting there just watching him play. Like I remember, if you remember back when he was on San Antonio and they were playing the Memphis Grizzlies, they lost that game, but they went into like 1 or 2 overtimes. I remember they could not stop Kawhi Leonard. And when I was watching that game, my mind was blown. Like I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was seeing somebody that was so confident, taking these fadeaway shots, these 3 pointer shots, all these crazy clutch shots, and then just making them all. It came down to Kawhi Leonard versus the whole Memphis Grizzlies in those like last bit of fourth quarter and overtimes. And I remember, I think it was like Marcus Gasol that hit the game winner. And I feel like the only reason why they won that game is because Toronto. I mean, Kawhi really didn't get another shot after that. Like it was pretty much game over after Marcus Gasol hit that game winner, and or almost buzzer beater, and it was just an amazing back and forth game. But I remember seeing Kawhi Leonard just look unstoppable, and that's when it really hit me. I was like, man, this dude is really one of the best players in the league, and he's gone out to prove that. Number four, I got Dr. J, just because I mean I'm a Sixers fan, and it's just I've gone every time I go back and watch Sixers highlights, you're going to see the Doctor. If you watch Sixers games, you're going to see the Doctor, and him dunking on Michael Cooper is like my one of my favorite dunks of all time. If it's definitely probably it's top three. It's top three because I've never seen a man just give up in midair where he's like, nope, I don't got this. I'm just gonna duck my head and then just call it because that was like one of the most amazing plays. I mean, look, if you want to hear somebody compliment Dr. J, listen to Magic Johnson compliment Dr. J. He always has the best things to say when he was talking about going against Doc. So I mean, I'm a fan of the Doc. Number five, Grant Hill. Go back and watch Grant Hill highlights when he was on the Pistons. I'm telling you, this dude, he could have been so much more than what he was. If him and Tracy McGrady were able to play together, who knows what could have happened in Orlando. because if you go watch those old Grant Hill play like highlights, he was dunking on the best. He wasn't just dunking on anybody. He was dunking on the best. He was dunking on Alonzo Mourning, the Kevin Mutombo. It don't matter. He was like some mean posters, and he had a mean crossover that was quick. I didn't love his jump shot, but I loved his explosiveness to the rim. That was a fun thing to watch, and he's such a good dude. And I'm a Grant Hill fan. I got number 6. I got Carmelo. I'm not the biggest Carmelo like fan, like in terms of like some of the decisions that he made over his career. But I think he's fun to watch. He's always been fun to watch. Even with the Knicks, he was like having like these crazy, kind of like those like Garden type moments, where you get the whole crowd going. Like when he went against the Bulls and hit those clutch shots against the Bulls, one in overtime and one to win the game. And I don't know. I was a fan of him in Denver too when he got his team. He was a rookie and his Nuggets team went to the playoffs that year. I mean, yeah, he was playing with Kenyon Martin, Andre Miller, but he was averaging like 20 points a game. Like he was doing his thing as a rookie. And I thought Carmelo like got in much better shape over the course of his career. But he was just fun to watch. Carmelo always hit those big shots. Like he was a big shot maker, where you could be down like 4 and then he hit a 3 and then you're down 1, then he hit another 3, then you're up 2 and then he hit like another mid-range jumper or some type of like Carmelo was fun to watch. I'll admit that. Number 7, Paul Pierce. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to put Paul Pierce at number 7 because I hate the Celtics. But Paul Pierce, when my Sixers were terrible, like we ain't had nothing to play for, you just watching basketball as a whole, you'll see Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce had some really good moments. He had that comeback against the Nets that one year. Like him and Antoine Walker, that was a crazy game. I remember watching that live, and I was like, "There's no way that these guys are going to actually make this comeback," and they did. I forgot how much they were down by, but they were down by a lot, and they made that crazy comeback. That was, they weren't going to ever win a championship or anything like that, but beating the Nets like that was pretty cool. Watching him play against the Cavs was a lot of fun. Him and LeBron were having some really good battles. I'm amazed how he was playing because I know LeBron's a better player than Paul Pierce, but the fact that Paul will play at that elite level though, he never stepped back. He always used to put up great numbers against the Cavs, and he gave LeBron the work, and that's why they got eliminated too. I agree with that. I thought. Because, like, even with the Celtics, with KG and Ray Allen, I felt like they were still in the down years after they won that championship. Because KG got hurt. He definitely wasn't playing at the same elite level in 2010, But, that year, it was that back and forth between him and Paul Pierce. And they knocked those guys out of the playoffs. Because the Cavs were 60-win teams. They were the number 1 seed those years. And they weren't. I thought they were going to win. I really thought they were going to go to the championship those years. But they didn't. And that you could thank Paul Pierce for that, and you could also thank Dwight Howard. And then number 8, I got Peja Stojakovic. I got Peja Stojakovic on my number 8, just like I got Mike Bibby in my top 8, because those Kings teams were just so fun to watch. Nobody remembers the year that when Chris Webber went down, right? Peja Stojakovic was the second in the league in scoring behind Tracy McGrady. He barely lost to Tracy McGrady. And look at it like this. The Kings went to the playoffs that year. They were still a playoff team, and they were part of a good system overall. And Peja Stojakovic was second in the league in scoring. And Tracy McGrady was on one of the worst teams in the league. They ended up getting the lottery pick. So he had time to score those points to get the number 1 scoring spot. I thought Peja Stojakovic was the MVP candidate that year. But he didn't get enough recognition. But Peja Stojakovic could just do more than shoot the 3 ball. You don't be second in the league in scoring by just shooting the 3 ball solely, and be a spot up shooter. Peja Stojakovic was good. And he had that one crazy game when they were on that championship Mavericks team when they played against the Lakers. Him and Jason Terry hit how many threes? It was insane. I don't know how many it was. It was over 10. Together they hit over 10. And I think it was well over 10 actually, because they just couldn't miss, and that was that closeout game, and the Lakers never had a chance because of that hot shooting.